Usually sewing is about straight lines, crisp corners, and precise angles. Well, today we're letting go of all of that. We're embracing fabric scraps, curves, raw edges, and not too many measurements to get darling graphic designs for clothes and home accessories. Georgana Hall is helping us learn the art of free motion applique. How are you, my friend?
Good.
This is new to my ears. Of course, I'm not a seamstress or a sewer in any way, shape, or form, but explain the idea of free motion applique.
Let go of what you've known before, because it's all about letting go of that perfectionism and just being free and creative and drawing on your fabric with your sewing machine.
Drawing with your sewing machine.
With your sewing machine.
That's not usually the application that we hear that tool used
I know. So it's so fun.
Is this a new look, or is this a look and a technique just gaining popularity right now?
It is a technique gaining popularity. It's huge in the United Kingdom, and it's making its way here in sewing, and it's so fun and free-spirited.
Let's look at some examples.
Yes.
Let me point out a few of these for us.
Okay, so what's so fun about this is you are putting down your fabric, so a traditional applique, but then you're going on top of that with your sewing machine and drawing the line. So instead of doing a hand embroidery, you are using your machine, and you can see how loose and carefree it is.
Yeah, you went wild, woman.
I went wild. There's no rules. You just have fun.
That's really fun to look at, actually. The eyes kind of dance around the fabric. You've done that same idea here with the ever so popular cactus motif.
Yes, and you can see how it's really wonky. You can see that
wonky's a good word,
it does
isn't
not line up. You go back several times, and if it doesn't match up, it's okay. It looks better.
So obviously you don't go into this with like a pattern or a design goal.
I'm going to show you my tips and tricks. I do like the patterns that are available, but you can just be creative and be artistic too. So there's two different ways.
There are patterns for this.
Yes.
Though. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So free form, but not too free form.
Right.
When you pull out a pattern.
Yeah.
Okay, well, talk us through the steps.
Okay, so let's just kind of dive in. First, I kind of want to explain, like, when you have the embroidery, the machine quilting, you think of it as you're like putting your quilt together. You have your backing, your batting, and then your top piece, your quilt top, and you're quilting that together. This is showing how you can actually do the free motion with the applique and making it into a finished project like a quilt. Or what I'm going to also show you is how you can just make fun projects.
Okay.
So does that kind of make sense, where you can just do it on top of your product?
As kind of an aesthetic design.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, so to get started, you're going to want a heat and bond to do your applique. So it's just like your traditional applique, where you're going to cut out your fabric and you're going to put the heat and bond adhesive, iron that on, and cut out your pieces. So that's what I have done here with this cute rainbow.
I am following you, and I'm proud of that point.
So that is this cute rainbow.
It's happy.
And so I have all of these. I've already peeled off the back pieces. So right here, I could iron this down, and then I would be able to just go on top with my sewing machine.
Okay.
But now, where you asked about a pattern, there are these patterns that are printed onto the washaway stabilizer, and this is what I prefer, because I do still like to be able to follow, kind of like a coloring book.
Sure.
I do like to follow the line.
Sure.
And so what you can do is you peel the back of this.
Okay.
And then lay that on your workspace. And then you're going to lay your pieces down for what's going to be forward. So instead of laying your back pieces first, you're going opposite, if that makes sense.
So color facing down.
Yes, and you just put your pieces inside. And this is sticky, so it's actually adhering those pieces onto here, so it allows it to stay.
Okay, this is like the sticker book. I mean, I did it at church on Sunday.
I love it. That's a very good example.
Just in reverse fashion, are there a lot of, when we talk about the pattern options, the pattern technique, are there a lot of patterns available for something like this?
There are. It's growing trend. I think I'm going to Quilt Market in just a few weeks, International Quilt Market, and I know this is going to be a trend that we're going to see continue to rise. Okay. And if you look on Pinterest, oh my goodness, there are so many fun ideas, and I really kind of looked at what people were doing and how I could make it simple. And so this, using this washaway stabilizer, you can see it's all stuck. Yep. Then now I would lay it down onto my fabric, press it down, and it sticks onto that. Now I would take my iron and heat the back side to make it to just kind of stick onto the fabric. Right. Because now I have it adhered on the front and the back side. Okay. Now another tip is that you want a hoop to put into your sewing machine. It helps keep your fabric smooth, so that you don't have a lot of ripples. I feel like the stabilizer also helps with that, but you're actually, once again, using the hoop in reverse. So you would take your project and put it down in the hoop and put the inside down
you sort of have to
in
think
the outside.
right?
You do. So it kind of holds it like that.
Okay, okay.
All right, now we're gonna take it into the sewing machine.
Now we get to play?
Now we get to play. Now, because this hoop is wide, I need to just kind of take my foot off to allow my hoop to get in there. Now, when you're doing the hoop, oh, I'm stuck in there.
It's thinking about letting you in.
My presser foot, there we go. Okay, you're gonna want to use a sewing machine foot that allows you to see what you're doing. So you can see this isn't my traditional, this is an embroidery foot. So that's important. Yeah. They have ones that are clear on the bottom so you can really see. This is just what I had in my stash. The other tip that you have to do is put your dog feed down. The dog feed,
I don't know what that is.
is the grippers underneath here that hold your fabric straight. All right. So you're putting that dog feed down so there's no grippers.
Seamstresses everywhere just did like a palm to forehead smack for me. Sorry, everybody.
So that's going to allow me to be able to move my fabric as I want. Okay, now my biggest tip here is don't just like go crazy. You want to practice this first.
Are you sure?
Yeah.
Going crazy sounds kind of fun.
Before you put this in your machine and start going. Practice is key because it takes a minute to get the fill. I'm going to put that down, and I'm going to just kind of start going. Now, because there's no grippers, you can go as fast as you need or as slow as you need. The stitch length is going to be different. You can see I have a piece here. I'm just going to pull that out.
And you're following those pattern lines.
And I am following those pattern lines. So if you wanted to freehand draw this, you could use like a wash away pen. Would work if you wanted to draw on there too.
So create your own pattern.
Create your own pattern. I'm going to lift it up and go to my next spot. And then I would just clip these threads in between. And
I
then
can
just
see
keep
where from
going.
a creative perspective, if you've been making quilts or all of those straight line projects for so long, this would be a brain bender. I mean, it would take a minute to kind of get on board with it, but how fun from a creative perspective.
It is so fun. So you just start going wild and you go, I really recommend going around twice, if not 3 times, to really get the feel of the line that you want.
So you're not, I mean, that's where kind of the imperfection comes into play.
Yeah, it's supposed to be
kind of line over line.
Yes, and so that's what I was telling my mom when she was talking to me about. So I'm like, perfectionists are really going to have a hard time with this. Because it's supposed to be free moving. So you can see this finished here. And I love the cute happy, and that, see, I went over about 3 to 4 times. Because I wanted that to be more bold.
You left your fabric even a little tattered on the edges too.
Yes, because I love that look.
See, it does. I mean, you're right. Perfectionists might struggle letting go a little bit, but it almost adds a different dimension, right? With the different layers and the different pattern play.
I'm obsessed.
You're obsessed. You love it. All right, will we see more projects like this coming from you?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. And I love that you can make them into quilts. You can put them in hoops to enjoy on your wall, runners. I mean, the possibilities are so fun with this.
I know you're stocking the supplies for this up-and-coming trend and technique at your store. Where can we hook up with you?
Adornit.com will have some of this fun stuff.
All right, and have fun at Quilt Market.
Thank you.
Bring back some trends and some projects for us. We appreciate it. Thank you.